Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Dominique, and today we're going to be talking about being a single parent in the military. So a little bit background about myself. I've been in the Navy for 12 years, and I have a 4-year-old daughter, soon to be 5 next month, and it's her first year going to pre-K. So if you are like any other parent, you know that the school systems normally start receiving kids at no later than 0800. So 8 o'clock in the morning till about 3 o'clock is the normal hours for Virginia anyway. So you're gonna probably have to get before and after care. I had the blessings of having YMCA, which is about 5 minutes away from her school, and they transport her from the YMCA to her school. All right, so it's hard. I'm not gonna say that it's not doable, because it is, but you have to have an effective support system. And what I mean by support system is you got to have a plan A, B, and a C. So when you have those days when the daycare or the school is out, you got to have a backup plan, because calling your supervisor and telling them that you can't come to work because your school is out, sometimes they may not be as understanding, because at the end of the day you still have to get a job done, and especially like if you have duty or something like that. So yes, have a backup plan. Normally they have 24-hour daycares, some place where you can take your child, but you have to sign up. That's a day-by-day basis. It's not something that is a permanent thing. So you really have to have people that's outside of those professional business. Sometimes you may have some people that is not in the military that may be able to help you. Your neighbors, you might be able to sync up with your neighbors and stuff like that. People that you work with, probably they a male counterpart that work with you. Maybe he has a stay-at-home wife that can probably watch the child. But it comes to a point to where I had an issue with trusting people to watch my child, because they got some crazy people out here. They be doing all kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you do have to find somebody that you trust, because it's gonna come that one point when you have to use them to watch your kids. And if you don't have nobody as a backup, then you just putting yourself in a real bad position, a real bad predicament. You know what I'm saying? So have a plan A, have a plan B. Now, another thing that you can do is be upfront with your chain of command. So, because your chain of command, sometimes, you have leaders that's in a position like myself. I'm a single mother, and I'm a chief. So, they may allow you to stay home for that day, depending on what's going on for that day, but don't try to make it like a normal thing, because they're not going to be able to let you off every time that you have a family care plan issue. So speaking of family care plans, this is the document that the military uses to track people that have children. So they have, family care plans for single mothers and for dual military. So if you dual military, pretty much that means one of you guys, more than likely they try to make it to where one of you guys are out to sea or on sea duty, and the other one is on shore duty. Or both of y'all can be out to sea duty. It's not a guaranteed thing, but the Navy or the military period does try to make it to where one parent is able to be at home with a child. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about with being a single mother in the military is, if you have family that's nearby, that is, 10 times better than having nobody at all. So maybe, they have some family members that's able to come up and watch your child and stay with you. That can be an option. You probably can, besides having those family members, like I mentioned earlier, have those neighbors, and you just gotta meet people, that's gonna be able to help you out. Because at the end of the day, we all here, you know what I'm saying, to help each other out. But yeah, it's difficult. I would say that sometimes, especially, oh my God. So like, when my daughter, you know, when she was younger, she used to get like a lot of ear infections and stuff. So, you know, when they have ear infections, they get like a high fever, and they just, you know, become very irritable. So me taking her to, you know, the emergency room and stuff like that, it became difficult because she was getting like ear infections like every, you know, twice a month or something like that. And it was difficult. But again, that goes back to me saying you have to have a support system. So, you know, I was fortunate enough to have my child's father. He's not in the military, and his whole family live up here. So sometimes I utilize them. But recently, you know, I find myself having to also rely on, you know, my neighbors and stuff like that. So you never know who you need. So at the end of the day, you know, if you set yourself up, that'll be the best thing for you. Because like I was saying earlier, you know, the mission comes first. It's unfortunate, but the military is constantly, you know, putting in work. We doing exercises, we doing all kinds of stuff, and we have all kinds of moving parts that goes with the workday and preparing ourselves for, like, say if you're on sea duty, you know, when you're preparing yourself for getting underway and stuff like that. It's not a lot of work time that you can miss. You know, you have certain leave days and stuff like that you could put in and stuff, but you don't want to have to put in leave every time you have an issue with your child. For one, that's last minute notice. You don't want to be bringing up last minute leave checks and trying to put that in. And for two, you want to be able to save your leave time for actual vacation time, not for having to use your leave days to make sure that you can stay home to watch your kids. So if y'all have any, you know, other suggestions, put it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell.